Welcome to Wrestling with Heart, a podcast looking at pro wrestlers giving back to their community. Join me, Stanley Carr, as I interview wrestling's hottest names who use their platforms as entertainers to raise awareness and do community service. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Heart. This is the show where we talk with professional wrestlers and professional wrestling personalities about their lives in and out of the ring. And with me today is a very special guest. He is a former Windy City Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champion. He's wrestled all across the country. I am very pleased to welcome Mr. Brett Douglas. Brett, welcome to Wrestling with Heart.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so sorry that the first two times didn't work out, but I just want to thank you for being the good person that you are to give me a third chance.
Yes, they say the third time is the charm. So thankfully, this has worked out well. So, let's get started here. Now, were you born in Chicago?
I was born Hinsdale Hospital, so I grew up in Elmhurst. I grew up with my mom until I was 14, poor. And then I moved in with my dad when I was 15 and became rich. And he put a basketball court in my backyard. I was a wimp. And then I started playing basketball and I became a man. I'm so glad that he did that. But that's where regret comes in, because my grandpa was the athletic director for York High School. He has a basketball tournament named after him. I didn't play baseball. I didn't play football. I didn't play basketball. I partied, and it eats me up inside. And my life is all about regrets. But then at the end, it's something special.
Well, the thing is everybody has a story. Everybody has, paths that they take and they make choices in life. And it seems like you're in a good place right now. And, basketball, everybody's got their thing, whether it's sports or music or wrestling. Just being able to find yourself and find what you wanted to do and find something that, you could invest your time into. It's really amazing to hear, being able to get to do that.
And I still play Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Lost 22 pounds since I moved to Chicago.
I have relatives in Chicago. It's a big city. It's huge.
Yes.
It's huge.
I thought you lived here. You live in Nashville?
I live in Nashville, but I've got family in Chicago. I went last fall and the previous holiday season for near Thanksgiving. I went, and I'm actually planning to go back later this year for my cousin's wedding. So Chicago's a very big town, big city, lots to do. I actually went for I took a boat tour a couple of years ago. I got to see the skyscrapers and the Art Deco buildings. It's very beautiful, especially around the holidays. I don't know if
Oh, yes. We were on 2nd Street where, or I don't know what the street is, but where all where you look into the all the beautiful arrangements and stuff. I lived in Chicago, but I didn't go to Chicago and do anything. Now I'm an adult. It's time to explore Chicago.
Yeah, definitely take that opportunity. Take advantage of it. There's so many things to do, so many places to go. Have you been to a Cubs game or?
So I'm a diehard White Sox fan.
Okay.
And I went to the White Sox game Friday night. So we had decent seats. I mentioned to the security that I was a shark bite victim and then showed him my leg, and they upgraded us from $20 seats to $200 seats.
Oh, man.
And I feel bad about saying the shark bite victim thing, but I'm ready to tell you the real story. but I don't want to tell other people the real story. The Memphis Grizzlies play-by-play guy actually became a great friend of mine. And I was just in Memphis, and he brought me onto the court, and we took a picture together. Oh, I just got nervous. Wow.
Sure.
But I didn't start watching wrestling until, okay, Stephanie and Triple H's wedding. That's when you had to see what happens next week.
Yes.
And that's what I think they're missing these days.
That was like the Attitude Era. That was like prime time television. You know, you had so many talented people. Like the roster was stacked of talent, and not only WWF, but you had WCW and ECW and all these smaller independent companies. I mean, what a time for wrestling! The late '90s, early 2000s. You know, it was hot.
Ratings wise and product wise. Now, I didn't watch ECW or WCW. I was one of those WWF only guys. But when I turned 19 and I graduated, I asked my dad if he could let me become a wrestler, and he paid for $2,000 for me to go to WCPW, Windy City Pro Wrestling, to train. And this was back in the day when trainers were allowed to beat the you know what out of you. So Saturday, Terry Allen, it would just be me and him, 3 hours of him just beating me up. And it made me so much stronger. I like that kind of training. And also, they made us do, all kinds of exercises, run the mile. Another thing that a lot of wrestling companies don't do these days.
Yeah, a lot of drills.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Why did you feel like you liked that kind of training?
Well, because I saw physically, I saw change immediately. I was also working out with a trainer that was like crazy, and like he was like making me push like too much weight. He made me do a drop kick in the health club, and I screwed up my elbow. Ooh. That's going to play a huge part in my career. Another thing that happened, a basketball player ran, and I put my left elbow out. He ran through it. So my arm pops out of place.
Oh, man.
And that is going to play a huge part in my Windy City Pro Wrestling career.
Yeah. I mean, wrestling is no joke. I mean, you're there, every day on the grind, getting your butt handed to you, 7 days a week. I mean, that's you're being slammed on plywood.
Have you ever seen the great photo where they said, "Is this really fake?" And then they show that it's metal, then wood, then this little piece of, and the road rings would be so much stiffer.
Yeah, I had heard stories that like WWF.
Hey guys, can you be quiet a little bit? Just a little more. Sorry.
I had heard, no, it's okay. I had heard like stories like WWF's rings or WWE's rings were like, the ropes were very like, I guess like smooth, but like WCW's were like the cable rings, the hard cable rings. It was very loose.
Back in '96, WWF rings were actually really stiff. And they were really stiff when Mick Foley did that crazy Hell in a Cell. Mm-hmm. And then they in like 98, 99, they changed to a more soft ring.
Yeah.
And our so WCPW Our studio, I'll admit it, our studio, it was nice and comfortable for the bumps. But they chopped me so hard. And you know what? When I go back, I love either watching me do a move or me get crazy moves done to me, especially chops.
Oh, sure.
Because so my first match, my friends came, it was in Kankakee, and I was actually yelling at the crowd, you Yankees, you Yankees. I called the crowd Yankees because they're from Kankakee. It was the one time that I was a heel.
Yeah.
And Jerry the King Lawler was in the main event. And so we did kind of a prayer, and then the owner, Sam said, and this is Brett's first match, and everyone clapped, and I looked, and Jerry the King Lawler was clapping, and that was just so cool.
Yeah.
And I did, but get this, I was going, get out of your seats, get out of your seats. Ah, arm pops out of place. First match.
Mm.
And I have to pop it back in and then go. I was going against Acid Jazz for the Windy City lightweight title. And I did this move where people would give me a hip toss and I would do this crazy front flip, keep running, and then he would hit me. And you're supposed to tuck your head when you take a bump. I believe that it looked better when you slammed your head into that thing. Crazy.
It looks real, like actually, like it hurt, like it actually happened, as opposed to you just selling something.
Yep. And it was amazing being a heel. I did a standing moonsault onto someone. I got up, I said, you do that? Oh, I know you can't do that. And I never point actual people out. So I'm just pointing to, just to point.
Yeah.
I don't like when people single people out and bully them.
Right.
It's a heel, especially I've heard the fat shaming and stuff, I don't like that. And I'm a crazy heel.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard people say like the best heels are the nicest people, and then the people that are play face.
Really?
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard it from. I think, was it Triple H that said it in an interview that the best heels are the nicest people in real life.
See that.
And then the people that play the good, some of the people that play the good guys on TV are the assholes.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I think, was it Rip Rogers that also told me that? Yeah, I had him on the show. He said the same thing. It's crazy.
Was he in charge of OVW?
Yes. Or no, he was the head trainer. Danny Davis owned it, and Jim Cornette was part of it.
Santino.
Yeah.
I trained there in the intermediate class, but I came there drunk.
Really?
Yes. Alcohol ruined my life.
Mm.
So 2 days later, after my first match, me and Justin Adams went for the tag team titles against our trainers. So it was the rookies versus the trainers. And Steve Boz had Justin Adams. That was his protege. My mentor was Terry Allen. Terry Allen, his punches were real. Steve Boz, his punches looked real, but he taught me an amazing way to punch, and I still do it to this day.
Mm-hmm. How? Tell me about it. Yeah.
So AJ, do you want to? Okay, so here we go. AJ, you ready? Oh my God.
Uh-oh. Oh.
So, because we were zoomed in, you obviously probably saw me smack my shoulder.
Yes.
But when you're in the ring, you can't. The way I do it, I go like this so everyone looks at, and then you're able to, but
Yeah,
that dog was not hit at all. And you
sure.
know why? Because I practiced my punches on the corner of the wall, which means if you don't touch it, that means that that was a bad punch. If you go too stiff, you're going to bust your hand up.
Right.
So a weird way to train, but we we went for the tag titles. My arm did not pop out. I fought in Stone Park and it was cold out. And it's crazy. It was like 30 degrees and we were wrestling. And so eventually my arm started popping out in every match. Also, my friends stopped coming to my matches. And ladies and gentlemen, don't, if you have a dream, it's your dream. Do not quit based on support. You need to support yourself. But my arm started popping out every match, and I started drinking a lot. And I was going to have, with the Iron Sheik in my corner, I was going to go for the lightweight title in front of 2,000 people at Battle of the Belts, but I quit.
Yeah.
There's some regret right there. Became an alcoholic. Alcohol is the worst drug ever, and I actually don't drink. I've had 3 beers in the last 3 years, and they've been on my birthday with my dad on the beach. But I hate alcohol. It ruined my life. But you know what? It also saved my life because I drank too much, and then the way I was laying on Christmas of 2009, I legally was gone. And my dad called the emergency room. He called the ambulance. The ambulance took me. My heart rate was 15. I legally died for 2 minutes. And I remember seeing fog. I remember being 5 feet above, but God brought me back. And when God brings you back, you have to make a life out of it, because I always say there's kids that died at 5 with cancer, and I did that stupid stuff. Why do I deserve to live? So I have to make my life make some kind of dent in this world, because it's hard. It's hard to make a dent in the world.
It is. It's not easy. We only go around one time. Everybody is on this earth a short time. You got to make the most of it. That's very devastating. That happened. And it seems like when you were wrestling, with the motion, it's like that had to have bothered you. With
Absolutely.
your vein popping out like that. And
has anyone ever took their shirt off and did a wrestling punch to their dog on your show?
No, this is the first.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I'm so happy that I died, because then I was in a coma for 48 hours. They told my dad that your son his brain's going to be a vegetable. He called my grandma, and when I died, he called my grandma and he said, I can't lose Brett. Brett's going to die. I can't lose him. And I can't believe I did that to my family. But after that, they said that I would never walk. They said that I'll be on dialysis for the rest of my life. My kidney doctor called me a miracle child. In 10 years of practicing medicine, she's never seen someone go from being on dialysis, kidneys shut down, to 4 months later, kidneys perfect. And when I was in a coma in Atlanta, my grandma, my angel, she came and she held my hand, and they said, he's been out for 2 days. He could be out for another day. Right when she held my hand, I opened my eyes and I started crying. She was my best friend, and I lost her 2 months ago. And all I want to do is make her proud and my grandpa proud and my family proud. The family is the most important thing in life.
Definitely is. As someone that's lost a grandparent, I know what that feeling feels like. It's it's an amazing. It's what an amazing story. Of you being triumphant and being able to come alive again after such a just an unfortunate, near tragic scene of events. Um, so thankful you're able to still be with us.
Well, I am too, but I started knocking things off my bucket list. I wanted to run a wrestling show. I ran a wrestling show, got 95 people there. Austin Theory was in the second main event. Remember I said I never played baseball. I
Yeah.
joined an adult baseball league so my grandpa could watch me play. It's never too late. It's never too late to do anything. I started my own pro wrestling company, Wolfman Professional Wrestling, and 55 episodes. So that's I took the worst thing, hitting rock bottom. I took it and I made it my prayer. It's what saved me.
Yeah, I mean, you were
I'm a
able
little
to.
emotional now, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's this is a very cathartic experience. Being able to share your story. Because it's inspiring. It can inspire somebody else that's going through a rough time in their life, and being able to get some get some inspiration and being told like, hey, you're gonna whatever you're going through, you can get through this too. If there's somebody out there that's feeling ill or is going through a rough patch, this is a way of dealing with it and being able to get through it in the best way possible. So
I always tell myself it could always be worse
yeah.
because it could always be worse. Don't feel bad for yourself. Make something happen.
It's technically we're still in this pandemic. We've COVID, when COVID hit, everything shut down. People, including myself, were just uncertain about what the world was going to be like, with no vaccine and with, businesses closing and entertainment just kind of, on hold. That was, it was just a sign like, hey, you can't take life for granted. And now that we're kind of coming out of it, on the other side, it's always good to have that reminder.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, they were alone more than they were used to, and a lot of people don't like being alone. But maybe when you're alone, you're never alone because there's angels around us all the time, and you're an angel, I'm an angel, and my best friend is my dog. My best friend is my mom, my best friend is my dad, and you are now one of my best friends because
Thank you.
I love meeting good people, and good people are what's in my heart.
Oh,
I have time for good people. I don't want the bad blueberries because Judge Judy always says, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Judge Judy always says, if there's one bad blueberry within a day, all of the blueberries are going to be rotten. That's why I try to, I don't want one bad person in my life. Is this person making me a better person? Is this person, inspiring me?
sure.
And you are inspiring me.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. We kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, some more of your wrestling days and some of the people you've worked with over the years, like Jerry Lawler. You mentioned him. Who are tell me about some of the people you got a chance to work with,
Okay, so Ernest the Cat Miller ended up being one of my mentors. We ended up doing a video where we didn't know what we were going to do, but we knew if I made him too mad, he was going to smack me in the face. And we went back and forth being jerks to each other. Then I got to have a match with him. I went to WrestleCade and I was Ernest the Cat Miller's manager in a Legends Battle Royal, which was really cool. They didn't get, he super kicked me because I was screaming, what do you know, at him. Austin Theory is someone that is a 3-time Wolfman Professional Wrestling heavyweight champion. And did I have anything to do with his wrestling? No, but I helped him with his improv. And this is me flexing. So Brett, stop flexing. Got to tell yourself to stop flexing when you're a pro wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you surprised or not surprised of his success in the WWE?
I am not surprised at all. I am surprised about how good he became when it comes to the talking, when it comes to the heel heat. I think he's one of the top heels in the company right now.
Yeah.
And people, when he becomes a good guy, you have not seen 75% of his moves because he has some crazy moves that he's not bringing out right now because of the heel. And, you know, a heel should not be, you know, doing all these crazy moves, you know. He does the roll and then the blockbuster, which is really a cool thing.
Sure.
But I worked with him a lot, and I knew that he was going to WWE a year before he signed. And I had a wrestling match with him, and I knew it was my last wrestling match with him. So I knew this was my one chance to have a classic wrestling match. And I knew that it was going to be a make or break moment. When we went like this, he pushed me to the ground and I kipped up. If I kipped up and made it to my feet, I knew I would kill the rest of the match. I kicked up and then I kicked him, and it was a classic.
Oh, sure.
And I worked with Dutch Mantel, and you know, he is all about the big picture. He taught me about long-term storytelling, storylines. You know, he was a booker in Puerto Rico, booking 20,000 people. You know, he doesn't get enough credit. He should be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Right?
Yeah, very underrated, great manager, great booker. Just comes up with some of the most funniest things to say.
Oh, his podcast is amazing. Him and Ric Flair had that little beef.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's podcast is just him being mean to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it was really cool when I went to WrestleCade with Ernest Cat Miller. I got to hang out with Booker T. Like, hang out with Booker T. Like, it was so cool.
Yeah.
And you know, I gave Jeff Hardy my CD. That was so stupid. But DDP was right next to us, and so I talked to him. He said, you know, come by the yoga studio. So I came and checked it out. Jake the Snake was there. Ernest the Cat Miller helped me meet Goldberg. Ooh. So Goldberg is a really, really nice person.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely seems like he is.
But you know, people, you know, they ask me about my leg, and if I am vibing with someone and I know that this person is a genuinely good person that wants to know, I will tell them my real story. But I will tell you one thing: if someone says what happened to you and you say car crash, they don't have any. They never ask a follow-up. You could have been rolling down a hill, but if you say car crash, never a follow-up.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, car crash. Whatever.
Yeah, they'll write it off as like, oh, okay, moving on.
But I'm so this is me. I'm positive. I have so much energy and happiness that actually in the wrestling world, they thought I had an ego in the back because I was so happy. And I work with Stephen Platinum, who's just an amazing mentor. He said that's one of the biggest misconceptions in wrestling is that someone has an ego because of the way they're acting.
Yeah, it's just I think as over time, I've noticed that the culture and the business has changed from where it was maybe 20, 30 years ago. You start seeing a lot more people that are more open now about what they've been through, what they're going through in their lives. And that's kind of what my show's about, trying to bring some positivity, do whether it's, inspiring somebody else like your story or doing something nice for another person, charity work and community service work. So that's kind of what we're doing. But yeah, it's definitely changed for the better in my opinion.
I would let me know if there's anything I can do to help because
Yes.
I really mean that. Some people just say that, but
No, yeah, absolutely. Would
I
love
would,
to.
I would, if it's money. I'm on Social Security disability, but I would still donate to a good cause. I don't think I'm legally able to, but um, I don't know. Wow. I just feel so blessed that you let me be a part of this because what you started is it's what I want to be a part of. It's something helping the world be better, not make it worse. Everyone's divided now. The media is doing that,
Mhm.
and so now my new question is not what we have, not what we are divided on. I find out what I have in common with people immediately, so that there's no fights, even online.
But going back to WrestleMania and Austin Theory,
Yes,
what did you think of the Theory's match with John Cena?
I think it was perfectly done. He cheated, um, and he won, and he needed to win. And
Yes.
John Cena, bless him, because it was Hollywood. He was in his home,
Yep.
and he put the kid over. And you know what? I had an idea, and I actually messaged Austin Theory. We still keep in touch. I said, after you win, you come out and start Raw with John Cena's music, wearing John Cena's clothes, and say the champ is here. Um,
Great
and
heel heat. Great heel
yes,
heat.
but they apparently he either didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure. See, it truthfully, he's one of the most humble, nice people in the world, and he is just a workaholic. I knew he was going to be a star. I put two people on my list of I know they're going to be a star, and one was first was AR Fox, who was my trainer at WWA 4, and he didn't get signed to AEW until this year or last year, and I
Hmm.
was so happy for him because he does some amazing things. And then Austin Theory, I put him on my list when he was 19 because someone that takes so much for their body. He's in the gym every day for 3 hours every single day. He told me 7 days a week, 3 hours. He works
Wow.
his butt off, and he's a nice guy, but he believes in himself. So I taught him. Taught him to. If you believe something, you sometimes as a heel, you have to talk yourself. Okay, so we had a segment where he thanked all these people, because he was going to the WWE. He thanked about 6 people. He didn't thank me on Facebook. Did I think I deserved to thank you? No. But as a heel, I thought about it, and I did help him. I did help him with his talking and him being in my company, especially at a young age. So as a heel, I was able to take that little 1% and turn it up to 150 and say, and it was such a great back and forth because he was like, I'm just waiting for you to laugh, and because there's no way you're serious. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I think of you? I think of you as like a trainee. Like I think of you when I wrestle you like a practice match, because that's all you are, Wolf. And he cut one of the best promos I've ever heard him cut. And sometimes I go at people bad so that they will get mad and come back at me.
That's great.
I'm not taking credit for anyone's success. I just love helping people, and I love the business. I love the art of wrestling. And I had my last match in 2019 in Chicago in front of like 500 people, and they took me off my pain medicine. I was actually on morphine for 10 years, and then they took me off working when I went to Florida, and then they took me off my oxycodone, and I needed that for my legs, so I could hardly walk, and I had the flu, and I learned what it really means to hear the crowd and use the crowd to lift yourself up. And it's like, why is this my last match? I learned the most valuable thing that you could ever learn as a baby face.
Sure.
And but I said that I'm retiring, but wrestlers never retire.
No.
I'll probably wrestle this year.
And never say never.
And you know what I do? I do the RVD spike DDT. I spike myself on the ground. No one does that at 260 pounds. No. I'm 240 now, but wrestlers. Stephen Platinum's told me this. They're arrogant, and arrogance is a good thing. And then ego. And I said, Stone Cold wasn't arrogant. And he said, what? What happened when his music hit? Glass shattered. What did he do when he went to the ropes? He flicked everyone off. Why? So that they could flick him off. Arrogance. Because I was thinking like Shawn Michaels was arrogant, but Stone Cold was not. But he was right.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where you kind of have to read between the lines and actually pay attention to what's going on. So before we wrap things up, I just want to ask you, why do you feel passionate about helping others?
Because I think that's what I was brought back to do. And, I got this notion in my mind that we're all selfish, and we have to acknowledge that. And once we acknowledge that, we can every day get a little better with that. And then we all need to see that, I talk to people from all around the world now because, I have this reaction channel. It's called the Peace and Love Reaction Channel, because music is the one thing that brings people together. If you're at a concert for Jason Mraz, no one's thinking about if you're a Republican or Democrat. No one's thinking about religion. No one's thinking about race. You're all there for Jason Mraz.
Right.
And music brings people together. And so that's what I'm doing now. And I have a chance to write a song for a girl that went viral, and she's in a little Indian village. They're poor and they're so nice. They call the little girl calls me Uncle Brett. and the song is going to be about hanging with my dogs because too many. She did Little Nas X, and Little Nas X, that's not appropriate for a 12-year-old. I'm making it an appropriate song, but I I want to do more. I wanted to run for Congress. But, but I sleep for 3 days at a time. I wake up and I'm in nerve pain. Sometimes I get off I'm on the toilet and both legs go completely numb. And I think if I'm paralyzed again. And so with all of that, I have to fight those things. And so I need to help people from home. I need to help people through Zoom. I need to help people through my YouTube channel. And that's all I could do right now. But hopefully I could do more in the future when it comes to physically going and helping people. I want to. I want to. I promise you.
Well, it's very inspiring, great story, miraculously, you've made a comeback in the wrestling business and have done all these wonderful things. Yeah, the music stuff, how long have you been writing songs?
Since 2004, I've made over 1,000 songs. And the best one was actually in 2009, leading up to my death, because I was crying out for help through my music. It was called Emotional Illusions. And the last song was as if I was dead, talking to people, saying I was nicer than you think, but I didn't show a huge heart that I wanted to share the wrong situation. Like, I did it as if I was dead. And I joke around saying, wow, if I died, that would have been awesome. But of course it wouldn't have been awesome, but it's like I predicted it. But I just want to tell everyone, don't hit rock bottom to, change your life, because, I had to go all the way down to go up, and I'm working on myself every day. And I just want you guys to find love for everyone around the world, because I love all of you. I love you, and I miss my grandma, and I just want to make her proud, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to continue to do.
It's very nice. Brett,
Yeah.
where can people find you on social media?
Okay, so it's Wolfman Professional Wrestling. That will get you to the Peace and Love Reaction channel, and so I react to music. If you come from here, let me know that you came from here, and if you want me to react to your favorite artist, I will. But I'm the only reaction channel that's 100% honest. So, the other reaction channels, they will just say everything's great, everything's perfect. I'm going to say I wasn't feeling this song, but that doesn't mean I'm not feeling the artist. But, I'm honest. But yeah, Wolfman Professional Wrestling will get you to my YouTube channel, Peace Love Reaction channel, and we're doing a lot of great things there.
Well, Brett, this has been so inspiring, and I just want to say thank you again for coming on Wrestling with Heart.
God bless you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're more than welcome to come back.
When I have my when I make my return to the ring,
yes, we'll do it. We'll do it. And feel free to share the video with your followers and friends. I'd love to get share the page as well. Trying to get more people to like it, and
absolutely
love to get more guests. Wrestlers, anybody that that may fit this project, whether they're a big name, Obviously, love to interview some big names, but any local talent that may fit this project too, feel free to share it.
I have some ideas. So I will. We'll keep in touch.
Yes.
But thank you. This has been probably one of the most inspiring things that I've done since being back in Chicago. So I'm so inspired to do something really, really special. And my family is gonna love this radio show. And we're gonna get a lot of shares.
Yes.
You deserve it, man. You work
Thank
hard.
you. Thank you. It means a lot to me.
Nice to meet you, all you guys.
Yeah, nice to meet you. We'll talk soon.
Peace and love.
Yes. This is Wrestling with Heart. I hope you found this podcast to be informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and look out for the next edition.